So it's a practice tip that resolves an issue that I think really uh, uh, is prevalent for new meditators. New meditators come in with unknowingly, they kind of possess an idea of what meditation is before they get there, even if they claim they don't know what it is. And we explain what meditation is, but I don't think we're clear enough to explain to people the actual experience they should be having at the beginning. And I think people come into meditation with some assumptions of what it is, whether it comes from social media or movies or video games. And what they think is meditating is entering some kind of trance like altered reality. And I think no matter what we say, that's in the back of people's minds. And when they close their eyes, they follow our instructions, but there's a direction that they believe they're supposed to be moving in. And it's to fall into this absorption, right? Where they enter a different reality. And often what happens is they sit on the cushion waiting for something to happen. Does this sound familiar to anyone? You remember at the beginning, waiting for something? I remember little things like shifts of light would catch my eye, and I think, oh, something's going to happen. Something's happening. And of course it wasn't. But if you're thinking that way, guess what happens? Your mind starts to do it. So your mind starts to generate things because it thinks it's supposed to. So what happens is the mind plays a lot of games in meditation, and will create experiences and feelings and emotions. And guess what? That's not what we want to do. So my idea was, what we need to do is clearly share with people the type of awareness we use during meditation. And I thought, I think this can be a really simple thing to do. And I thought of a little exercise that makes it really clear. So I want everybody to try it. So the idea is, we don't want to fall into a trance in meditation. Now, some of those ideas of different types of awareness and trance and things at very, very high levels of meditation, they are there, they are possible. But the problem is, if you start with those, you'll never be able to reach higher levels of meditation, or they'll never be authentic, right? So if you're going into it and you're thinking that way, your experiences aren't going to be authentic. So anyways, instead of this kind of trance-like state that we think we're supposed to have, it's actually exactly the opposite of that. We want a bright, alert, aware style of mind. We want it, and some qualities that are wonderful is an explorative kind of a style of mind, inquisitive, one that is interested in experience. So here's the idea. Everybody's sitting here right now. You're all looking at the screen. This state of mind that you have right now, that's bright, alert, clear, right? You're all looking at the screen. You're all here, right? I want you to sustain this state of mind. I want you to have this state of mind in meditation. So let's keep that state of mind right now. Now sustain it. Now I want everyone to close their eyes, but sustain that mental state. Go ahead. Your eyes are closed, but I want you to be bright, alert, aware, just like you were with your eyes open. Now open your eyes. Were you able to sustain it through that? Let's try it again. Sustain it. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Sustained, right? This ordinary state of mind is the type of mind we want in meditation, right? This is the exact state of mind we want. Now, there is subtle changes that we have during meditation. We want to become calmer. We want to become peaceful, relaxed. So there is that calming effect, but that is felt more in the body. So when you sit to meditate, when you're comfortable, you can kind of get a sinking feeling in the body of a calmness, of a foundational settling. That's fine, but we don't want the mind following the body into that. We don't want the mind to settle down, or we don't want the mind to sink. We want the mind to be calm, but we want it to be alert and clear and bright. Now, your job in meditation is to watch the quality of your mind and make sure you sustain that. Your job is to try to sustain that. What we're really working with at all levels of meditation is we're working with dullness, right? We're trying to come to terms with and gain control over this quality of dullness. Now, at the beginning in meditation, oftentimes we deal with anxiousness, right? And the feeling like it's very difficult to sit, right? At the beginning, we can only meditate for a few minutes. And then anything more than 20 minutes, very difficult. We need to get up, we need to move, we need to do something. But that anxiety kind of goes away pretty quickly in meditation. Then dullness is the real thing that we're dealing with. Once a little bit of dullness gets in and the mind starts to sink, the mind then falls into a lot of afflictions. This is where a lot of mind wandering comes in. And it's also a place where the mind gets bored, right? When the mind gets bored, there's a sinking. And then the mind will seek out pleasure or interesting things, which at the time isn't your breath, which you're focused on. The mind will start thinking about things of the past, the future. You start plotting and planning. But those come in because of this subtle dullness, this kind of boredom. So the idea is we want to put our effort into maintaining that bright, clear, and can I say interested state of mind, right? You're following the breath and you're trying to be interested in it. Okay, this is meditation. What's happening right now? How does it feel? What happens if I can sustain this, right? This is the idea. This is the proper attitude in meditation. Now, as you proceed to higher levels of meditation through this practice, then you can achieve some amazing qualities later on. But that's after thousands of hours on the cushion. So primarily for everybody, meditation is that. It's sustaining that. I think this is probably the biggest mistake in meditation, that meditation being taught today. And it's not just in the West, it's in the East as well. No one recognizes this. Now, no one really talks about it much. No one advises people to fall into dullness, right? But no one really shares that this bright alertness is really important. It's one of the reasons why meditation teachers are so hung up on posture. They put such an emphasis on posture. Because when you have that nice alert posture, like you're sitting up straight in class, it creates a real alert energy in you, right? And that helps to maintain that. I always like to think about watching a scary movie in a movie theater. And as soon as the monster comes to get you, if you look around and watch everybody, when that monster breaks through the door, everyone sits straight up in their seats in the movie theater. Our bodies just react to that alertness that's needed. So that's the idea in meditation. So please try this out and see if it benefits your meditation. For me and the students I've been working with, I find this to be an extraordinary benefit to practice. This stops you from falling asleep. This stops you from falling into what we like to call vegetation. So we have meditation and we have vegetation. Vegetation means you're in meditation, you're following all the instructions, but you're just following the instructions, right? You're doing what you're told. You're sitting for the presumed amount of time for the meditation, but you're really missing the essence of the meditation. There's no mojo there, right? And what it's missing is that alertness, that presence, right? That dull meditation where you sit there and going through it, and pretty much you're just waiting for the bell to go off. I've been guilty of this before, right? But you can tell the essence of meditation is not that. It's missing that. The essence of meditation is that bright presence, that clarity, and the sense of curiosity. This is a time to explore our minds, to explore our awareness and work with it.